So Strev's defeat today, a disappointing one. What was your overall assessment of the game?
Yeah, look, it was a disappointing one, especially as we went 1-0 up quite early in the game, and then we probably had another 2 or 3 good opportunities to maybe go that second goal ahead. But look, in fairness to them, and it's going to be the way it's going to be between now and the end of the season, no one's going to get relegated this league. So they played 4 or 5 real attacking players in areas, and they was trying to pass the ball, and they was causing us problems first half with the way they was playing. So there was just a lot of attacking players on, just going all out to try and get it, and that led to us, like I said, in that first half having some real good chances to put the game to bed probably. Didn't take them, and then at the start of the second half conceding the 2 goals in such a quick time. I don't know how quick the time was to go 2-1 down, and then look, their game changed after that. You know, they obviously put everyone back and we had lots of possession, but just couldn't get that moment of quality or that ball in the box to try and get the equaliser. So look, it's a frustrating one to take and a hard one to take, but I can't do nothing about it now.
Was there perhaps a bit of disappointment in the manner that their goals came? Obviously the rebound and then the penalty.
Yeah, look, I don't know whether a penalty or not. I think there was a bit of a grab in there. Whether it was or not, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. Look, they didn't look particularly good goals from our point of view to concede. But as soon as I'm speaking to you 10 minutes after the game's finished, I have to watch it back to really know and to look through it. But yeah, right now they seem real disappointing goals. I just said that to the players, but obviously I have to look over it and make sure that what happened and try and help to make sure it don't happen again.
And we pushed all the way to the end, but obviously they put all their men back and defended hard. Was it always going to be a challenge to get that equaliser? Yeah,
especially when teams go back and defend and get lots of men behind the ball. Of course it is. And look, obviously we've got a couple of 3 or 4 key people missing for the group, which is hard to replicate. But I just said to the boys, lots of people have been coming, knocking on my door, asking for opportunities, this, that and the other, and giving people opportunities, boys from lower levels, young players, this, that and the other. I'm giving people opportunities which they wanted, and that's part of what I want to do as a manager. But the nature of the business is you've got to be ready when you're called upon, and that doesn't mean whether you're a young lad coming from a lower league, that means you're a senior boy as well. Everyone's accountable for these wins and losses. But of course, look, anyone missing Ben House and Tyrone Barnett at this level will obviously miss them, and hopefully House will be back next week, we're hoping, and Hilly will be back hopefully next week. But Ty's not going to be back anytime soon, and neither is Alex Winter. So can't be relying on people that are not here to get us the wins. We've got enough good players in the group, I believe, and they have to show that to win games of football.
And we have almost a full week now until our next game on Friday against Chesterfield. So is that a chance for them to prove themselves again in training, that we can do the business? Yeah,
look, there's no question of their training, their work ethic, and trying to improve. But this is a ruthless, tough league, and this. They're all going to progress at different times. They're all going to get better at different times. Some at a rapid rate and really kick on, and others are going to need to, establish himself at this level. Tom Blair's doing great, but he's got booked again today, and I've just said that to him. He got away with getting booked. I don't know how many times for Dorchester and sent off last year, but I'm not going to have it at this level. He's disciplined on the pitch to make sure he doesn't get himself booked. Is going to put a question mark over him and sign him for some people. So he's got to be better at that. Other lads that are coming out of Dan Smith hasn't played a great deal of football, so he's probably wanting that match sharpness to get up and running. And he's come from a low. So there's all different little bits and pieces that I have to try and help him with them to get better. But like I'm saying, it's just not the younger boys. It's all the senior boys as well. He's a youngster and a senior player making a mistake the other day. I haven't watched the goals back, but there's going to be accountability in each part of it. So look, we've got a week to do a little bit of work on the training ground, a week to hopefully get 2 or 3 of the boys that have been missing back, hopefully. And this the month before was brilliant, but we had like 5 or 6 games at home and we really took advantage of that and won them. But this month's been relentless and really, really tough, and coming to any team, Kings Lynn, just because they're down towards the bottom of the table, you look over there and it says National League North champions last year. So these are a good football club, and I know Coles for years. He's worked for Norwich, great respect. He's got a much better coaching career than I have. So anywhere we go in this league, whether it's Stockport away or whether it's Kings Lynn away or whoever it will be, we're going to have tough games of football, and this it's just a manner of conceding and losing games. Stockport the other night, sort of looked at him, gone, okay, where they're trying to be and what they've got in and around them is a reason for it maybe, but I always want to compete up against that. But today, I feel like we should have done better, even with the boys missing. So we need a week to regroup, to get some sort of confidence back into them a little bit, to try and not kill them too much. I don't like shouting and hollering anyway, because that's just probably for my own gain most of the time, shouting and hollering, but it doesn't make no rhyme to it. There's no reason, there's no real direction in it. I have to speak very calmly to people, and just because I'm telling them I can't wait to make sure that they do things better, and that's what we've got to do now. We've got ourselves in a real good position to try and get into these playoff places, and we always knew it was going to be really tough. With the greatest respect, there's no relegation, but we were never ever going to get relegated out of this football, out of this league this season. So we've got to push hard to try and make them playoff places now. I don't want it to turn into a season where we finish anywhere from between 8th and 12th, 13th, 14th, wherever it be in the league, and you're not quite making the playoffs, but you're not getting relegated, because that's just it's a nothing season for me. It's a wasted season. So it's making sure, I think it's 13 games we've got left now, that for the next 6 or 7 of them we have a real good push here to try and get into them playoffs, and then I'll know after that whether it's right, we've got a right good chance to try and get in there, and that's what my focus is, or whether it's we start planning and thinking what we've got to do next for next season. So but my main focus now is there's probably 5 or 6, 7 teams fighting for 2 playoff positions maybe. Can we have the standard and the quality to do it? Last month we proved we could. This month we've given a question mark to ourselves. So it's for me to find them answers to make sure that we get into their playoff pictures. And if we do it, it'll be as bigger achievement than when I did it a couple of years ago. I really believe that. But I think it'll be a massive achievement for the boys to try and get in there as well. And that's what I want from them. That's what I'm trying to push them to get to.
So then going to Chesterfield, that's going to be a game like that we have to win if we want to get up into the playoff positions.
Well, it's a team in and around you, isn't it? So it's it's a swing of 3 points. They're told in 6 points games, but not. It's a swing of one way or the other. But we're competing with them teams. I looked yesterday, and it's all the teams in and around the playoff places, all ex-football league clubs. So we're trying to be that team that breaks out of the mould and tries to get in and around it and trying to win it. So Chesterfield are a big club at this level. I said it when we played them a few weeks ago now, that they've recruited 14 players in the space of I don't know how many months, and we've not recruited any. We're just working hard with this group, and I've got the backing of the people at the club that if the right people become available to try and help us through this period we're in, because obviously Ty not being back and Wintz not being back, but you have to make sure it's the right people. You don't want to just bring people in for the sake of it. It's got to be right for us, right for the football club, and it's really, really difficult at the moment because League 1 and League 2 teams don't want to let their players out. Great respect, no one really wants to help people in the same league because you're strengthening them, weakening you. And weirdly, you'd think that the lower league teams, Conference South, Conference North, I've made don't know how many calls to people in them levels, and they're just saying no, we're preparing for next season, which is their prerogative to their players. So it's not through trying to give the boys some help. I don't want wholesale changes, but I want to try and help the boys a little bit, and I'm trying my hardest to do that. But if I can't, I've got to work hard with these boys and make sure that they, and some people need to run the games to get better, and that's what we're doing. We continue to try and push them on and to trying to urge them in that way, and it's never personal with me. I'm just trying to push people on and trying to make them better, and sometimes it's hard for them to realise that when I'm shouting and we're having a go at them. It's actually no gain in it for me. It's to try and make them better, and that's what we're trying to do. Certainly this next week, ready for Chesterfield next Saturday.